Hello, everybody. Helene Gross here. And in the studio, in the virtual studio, we have Ron Schaefer. He's an iridologist, a holistic iridologist. Ron, please take it away. I love what you do. I love what you do for people, and many of us are needing your help right now. So please take it away.
Awesome. My name's Ron Schaefer. I'm a holistic iridologist, and I'm also certified through the International College of Iridology. I'm also a certified cellular detoxification and tissue regeneration specialist. And I also do nutritional counseling and nutritional advice. A lot of people are going to be asking, what is iridology? Iridology is the study of the color portion of your eye, which is known as the iris. And through that, you can see predispositions that could be coming in to your life that could build for the terrain of what the medical people call diseases or medical breakdown of the body. And iridology has been around for quite a long time. It's been around for at least 3,000 years in Central Asia. It's in Mesopotamia, in a small town called Chaldea. They found some clay tablets that actually had iridology scriptures on it. So it's actually physically been dated back over 3,000 years. And I haven't found the proof yet, but I heard in Chinese medicine, it's been dated back over 6,000 years. So it's been around for quite a long time. Hippocrates, back in 460 BC, known as the father of medicine, he used to use it. It was known that he used to look into the eyes of his patients and say, you can see the soul. So yeah, it's absolutely incredible. And how I got involved in iridology is through my own health. And I have been sick my entire life since the age of 3. And I've had autoimmune disorders from the age of 3 all the way up through my age now, which is in the mid upper 50s. So I had in my time, I had to learn how to walk 4 times in my life besides birth. So 3 more times I had to learn to walk because I was so bedridden. My feet never touched the ground for a solid year, so my legs crippled up. So I had to learn to walk at age 3 again, age 5 again, and age 8 again. At age 13, they took out my spleen, gallbladder, and appendix. And then after that surgery, I just had nothing but chronic illness, as far as always sick, sinus infections. I was kind of known as the boy in the bubble. All my friends, because my parents always kind of quarantined me from everybody. But then when I hit my 40s, I really started taking a real downward turn toward of my health. And I had heart issues. I had extra heartbeats. I had over 30,000 extra heartbeats a day. So I was constantly tired. The doctors were wanting to do open heart surgery on me. I had gastroparesis, where your stomach just stops. And so the food's supposed to be out of your system within 30 minutes to an hour and a half. And it was taking over 6 to 12 hours to get out of my stomach. So I was always bloated. I was always sick. I was always hungry. As soon as I ate something, I just wanted to throw up.
Yeah.
I had 2 autoimmune disorders, and they were getting worse and worse and worse. It was getting from 1 a year to 1 every 6 months to 1 a month. And then it was just basically it just wasn't leaving. It was literally almost once a month I was getting an autoimmune disorder.
Wow.
I had over 30 years of chronic debilitating lower problems. And I was on 5 different medications. And when the doctor put me on my 6th medication to counter the other medications that I was on, that's when I had like a little bit of an epiphany. I said, Ron, this system or whatever they're doing is not So from that point, I went into a very dark place in my time.
Yeah.
And I'm just not even going to say what was going on, but it was a very dark place. And
Yeah.
I hit, and I remember a friend of mine said, you need to go see a chiropractor. So that's the first step I did, was do a chiropractor.
Yeah.
And I started getting better, just only from doing chiropractic. So I'd go back to the doctors and tell them I was so excited, tell them what I was doing. This is what I'm doing. And they said, don't do it. It's going to hurt you. So I stopped, and then on and off and on. And it just got to the point, I just turned my back on the medical system, because what I was doing was helping, and what they were doing, God bless them, it just wasn't working for me. It may help for other people, but it wasn't for me. So that's how I came across iridology. It was just doing the research on how to take care of yourself, reading books, watching DVDs, documentaries, YouTube, whatever you could find, you find it and research it. And that's how I came across iridology. And iridology is what actually saved my life, because I could see into my own eye. Once I seen my own iris, and I knew what it meant with all the signs, colors, and markings, I was like, oh my gosh, I have a long road ahead of me how to clean myself.
Yeah.
But I had no idea how. But that's how I became a certified detoxification and tissue regeneration, because you got to be able to get whatever is inside you out. Whatever is damaged has to be rebuilt, and that's your cell. That's tissue regeneration. And once I understood that, it's all my ailments have left me. And I never looked back, and my health is just so impeccable now, and I've helped so many other people. My wife had a laundry list of ailments, and she's totally fine now as well.
Wow, I'm so impressed. So I met Ron at a.
I haven't.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So I met Ron at a.
I have a little chart. We have a little chart here. This is what iridology is. It kind of breaks down of what the iris looks like. So even though it's kind of hard to see, every organ and gland has this particular spot on an iris, and that's how you map out what is going on. And go ahead, Helene, go ahead.
Okay, so I had the pleasure of meeting Ron at a metaphysical fair. I think it was in Austin. Were we in Austin the first time we met, or were we in San Antonio? I don't remember, but I do remember sitting beside you and wondering, oh no, we have met before. That's right. We met in San Antonio before, and then it was up in Austin we met. Then we talked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he was doing these, I was thinking, well, I feel pretty healthy, but it couldn't hurt to go deep. And so the interesting part was when you took a picture of me or my eye, both of them actually, you had to go really, really close to really get all the different nuances, and even up to the end. I mean, it was very, very detailed the way that you were able to see. And just by that, you were able to see all of my organs, all of the good stuff and the bad stuff, and even seeing that my right side was more healthy than my left side, which is crazy. You don't even think about that. That's wonderful, right? And I got to see, okay, this is the new kind of food you need to be eating. He gave me a long list of foods that this is good for you. This is how you're going to clear your system. And I looked at that list and I was like, okay, I'm partially there, but I'm not completely there. But I have to tell you now, I've gotten rid of dairy, all dairy. Finally, it took me a while, but I did. But I have to say that what you told me helped me, because by looking in my eyes, you can see future issues as well, just by looking. And that's what we don't understand when we go to the doctors. I say I haven't been there for 15 years, so I don't go there. But what most people go, the doctor the medical profession is they're being taught to look at not even the wholeness of the body. They're just taught to look at the different parts of it, you know, I mean, and where iridology looks at the wholeness, right? Well, what was interesting here was you could see things that were going to happen in the future if I continued down that road. And
Correct.
that is important, I think, in your health journey. Right now, we are having to take care of ourselves on so many levels, clearing out the toxins, clearing out the free radicals and so on and so forth, because we have to strengthen our immune systems. Nobody's talking about that right now. That's really important. That's like the most, that's your key to life right now. So I invited Ron here to explain a little bit about how he works and what is out there for you, because you need to take control over your health. Don't put it in somebody else's hands. This is your duty to become a big girl and a big boy and take care of yourselves, right? So I'm just gonna leave it over to Ron again, because he has a lot of great stuff for us here. So please continue, my dear.
Thank you. Absolutely, thank you. A lot of people are wanting the magic pill. They want the shortcut. And what I found out through my own healing was you have to heal through spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. Physical is the actual last thing that you fix on your body, and that's what everybody wants, is a shortcut just to get to the physical. They don't realize, or very few realize, that the spiritual, mental, and emotional is part of what got you where you are. And what I learned from reading in the irises is that you have accumulations that build up. You're going to have inflammation, you're going to have mucus, you're going to have low oxygenation, low body pH, and then negative thoughts and emotions. That is, any one or all five of those will can cause any type of what the medical people call a disease.
Yeah.
I don't believe there are any diseases. Now, a lot of people raise their eyebrow when I say that, and that is because everything that's happening in your body is a natural immune response that your body is trying to do to actually save your life. And
Yeah.
we have been taught opposite of that. We have been taught that you do not trust your body. You do not trust nature. One thing that convinced me to go the opposite way was I'm a big outdoorist. I do photography and I love watching nature. I love watching animals. And I noticed when I was at rock bottom, deer don't go to the veterinarian. A horse doesn't go. An elephant doesn't go to the veterinarian. A crocodile doesn't go. The only time they go to the veterinarian is if man interferes with their life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And many times I'll see an animal out there stumbling, or it looks gaunt. You could tell it doesn't look healthy. And then you see it a couple weeks later and it's perfectly healthy again. And I thought, what are they doing that I'm not? And it was, they trusted Mother Nature and they trusted God. God gave us everything we need to be healthy.
Yeah.
We have just been misled down the wrong road to close our eyes to that.
Mm.
So with that in mind, you have to understand what we're doing to our body is how are we poisoning our bodies. It's what we eat, breathe, drink, put on our skin, and negative thoughts and emotions. And I'm actually want to add another one. I haven't added it yet, but I want to add it, which is, I don't know how to word it, but genetic or family traits, I should say.
Oh, yes,
Well,
that's huge. Yeah.
Well, that's the way my mom and dad did it. That's the way I was raised. That's the way grandma did it.
Programming.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that it was done right. And another thing I want to point out is, on nutrition, what we're eating today doesn't mean it is healthy for us.
No.
It will sustain life, but is it genetically what the human organism is actually designed to eat and live off of?
Mm.
Not. The standard American diet, the SAD diet,
Oh,
is what the
it's
American
sad.
human is not supposed to be feeding off of. And
No.
that's really hard for a lot of people to kind of transition over. But if you understand the laws of nature and you understand what happens when you eat certain foods, what it does in your body, it just becomes so self-explanatory. It's like, would you drink gasoline? No, because you know it's going to make you sick.
Yeah.
Well, you know that, but because millions of people are eating whatever and they are not sick to what I can see, it should be fine. And that's just so misleading.
Yeah. So I am very honored, Ron, because when I saw you, I knew that I was eating things that weren't that great. I knew that I have an 80% pretty okay diet, and then I have those 20%. You know, I have a little bit of, I need this, and I want, you know, I want the dairy, and I want this, and then I'll eat something like this. It's only 20%. I'm pretty okay, right? Because you woke me up. Actually, you woke me up even more, because I thought, you know, I'm pretty healthy on many levels, but you woke me up even to my feminine side. So today I like wearing dresses, but I also am trying to bring out the feminine side more, strengthen that, because that is something that has been out of balance for me. My male side has always been the power, the this, the that. I'm having to balance more so that I can have a balance literally in my whole being, right? And I feel that when you saw my right eye compared to my left eye, I was so shocked that one side could be more healthy than the other side.
Right. And that's due because of your kidneys. The right kidney controls the right half side of your body, and the left kidney controls the left half side. So it even works when you take your blood pressure. When you go to the doctor, they usually just take it out of one arm, and they should be taking it out of both arms, because if you do, you'd be surprised the difference that it can actually make.
Okay. So when you go and get a time with Ron, you are in the Austin, San Antonio area. What would you say that would be the place?
Yeah, I'm a little bit north of Waco, so it can be either Austin or Dallas area.
Okay, good, very good.
I'm about to equal time from both areas.
Okay.
But San Antonio, I've done a lot of fairs in San Antonio, so yeah, San Antonio is within my range as well.
Yeah. Okay. So, so if somebody would want to look into their future health and get help for a lot of things, and before I continue, I'm just amazed at all the things you have gone through, and you're sitting here as, you know, I think that's amazing that you are wonderful. So I mean, but so yeah, so if they want to connect with you and people want to have a session with you, how is that going to work? Where do they go?
They can either call me or they can email me. I will need a picture of your irises. They can be done with a cell phone. Normally 2 people need to do it. Have one person use your cell phone camera and expand it as far as it can. Try to get as close as you can, but it needs to be clear. It can't be fuzzy. And I also need a lot of light. So yeah, something along those lines there.
You need to open the eye so you see the whole eye all the way around. That was the difficult part with me. I was like, how do you do that? Because usually we don't see the top, but he needs to see the whole edge all around. Correct. And it has to be clear. So, yes. Okay. And so, we will leave the email underneath here, and we will leave the phone number under. Are you okay with leaving out a phone number like that?
That'd be fine.
Okay. Or do you want just the email? We can do that as well. However you want.
Email will probably be simpler.
Okay. And so if you want to have a session with him, and I can tell you it is valuable, it is very, very good to know ahead of time sometimes we already have stuff. Well, then we can get a game plan. You will set up a game plan for what you are able to help these people with, and you have different modalities, like you were saying. And so, writing an email to you, what if we can? What is a consultation? What would a consultation be for people that are connecting with you like this virtually?
Absolutely. I'll send them some paperwork that they're going to need to fill out, some history of a lot of stuff, and I go into the thought and emotional aspects as well, so we kind of see some organs that are being affected.
Yeah.
It's a normal visit is $275,
Okay.
but through this special here or through your site, I'll do it for $200.
Okay. Okay. And in that, you also get a meal, what is recommended to eat. It tells you about what is happening in your body, in your organs. And so you're sent, because I got a very, very detailed of what I should be eating. And I'm just wondering, is it different for all people, or is this something that most people, okay.
It's different.
Yeah.
We can do, a lot of people I work with, we just kind of do by the hour too.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way I'm normally set up at the health fairs, because some people just want to real fast. I want to know the basics, and then some people want to really know the detail. So
Okay.
that 200 is if I go into it from top to bottom.
Yeah.
I can go to where I just see the different levels of accumulations, and I pick out 2 or 3 things that need the most work, and then, you know, call me back in 6 months or a year or something like that. If you think you're doing better, then we can kind of see where the other blockages are or something like that.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Yes. Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to say here before is there anything we haven't mentioned that you would like to bring forward that people?
There's so much, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Some good DVDs. A good DVD to watch, and I think you can even find it on Netflix, is Forks Over Knives. That's the one that really got my eyes to awaken as far as what health goes. It's 2 doctors. One is a cardiologist, and the other one is a veterinarian. And they did studies. The one guy cured heart disease, the cardiologist, through nutrition. And the other veterinarian was able to turn on cancer and turn off cancer with only 5% protein. And that's what woke my eyes up. That's what woke me up. I was like, wait a minute here. This is not what we're being told. So that's a really good video just to watch, and it's all, you know, they talk about all the literature, how they did it, how they did all their studies. It's not that 2 doctors just went out on a whim. And then how they actually found each other is kind of quite remarkable as well.
Yeah.
So that's a great DVD to start with.
Yeah. Okay. And so we will leave this on the bottom, eyesbyron@gmail.com. We're going to leave this in the information in the bottom. So the advantages of iridology. I was thinking about iridology, eyes to the soul and beyond. I don't know.
They say the eyes are the window to the soul. And
yes.
That's true. That is
yes.
actually so. How it actually works is you have little lines in your iris which are called trabecula, and each one of those, I'm condensing it way down, each one of those are connected to nerve endings, which goes through your dura mater in your brain and actually connects to your spinal column. And each nerve of the spinal column goes to every organs and everything like that. So that's how everything is reflected back into the iris. So and the beautiful part about holistic iridology is it goes in your past, which is before you were born, in the present, which is now, and also in the future. So what's the past got to do with me? Well, the past has got everything to do with the thought and emotions and what was handed down to you genetically.
Yeah.
And then in the motion, and then in the present, which is the dance floor that we're on today on this rock. And then in the future, which means, are you still doing wrong things, or are you going to continue to pass these misinformed information onto the next life generation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the beautiful part about the holistic iridology, which again, it saved my life.
I am so happy that it saved your life, because you're now able to save so many other people's lives, which is wonderful. That's the way it should be. We should be helping, enhancing people all the time. And when you're talking about the spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical, I work like that too. I just don't work with iridology. I work with, you know, the healing modalities and the DNA upgrades and so on and so forth. But I want to thank you so much, Ron, for coming. And
Thank you.
people, if you feel that, hey, you know, our doctors are not giving us the answers, why don't you try and give Ron a chance to help you in your health journey? Okay, because it's really what it is. It's a journey. And he has a lot of good knowledge, and I know it for myself. It really did help me. It has helped me. I'm finally closer, and we're gonna have to do one more session, because I wanna see how far how far I have gone, right? So, and just by Ron's own explanation of his own health journey, oh my goodness! So you know that he knows, because he's tried it. You know, you have tried it, and I'm so thankful that you're here. And I think that we're going to say that's enough for today. You want to know more? Eyesbyron@gmail.com. I'm going to put it in the link below, and we'll probably put a little bit more in the link below so you can read a little bit about it as well. Okay. Thank you so much, and
God bless.
God bless.